I'm on you can see that there is an IP address change also. Wireless, I'm on wireless LAN 192.168.37.28. That's okay. So you see this one, the gateway, everything got changed. So where I am, let me save first, otherwise things will be different. Yeah. So gateway, what is the meaning of gateway? Yeah, I would just explain in the last stop. I hope everyone is back.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
What is the gateway? Gateway is means that an exit or an entry beyond your network. Okay, exit or entry. Okay, beyond your network. I mean the network, you know that, right? From 1 to 254 is your network. Broadcast is 255. Beyond that, I mean that once if you want to come out from the network or go into another network, this is being used. So you can identify typically the gateway router also. So that is mostly whenever you say gateway, that is the router. So 192.168.37 dot, in my case it is 125 is a router, okay. Window work. Okay, mute. Don't unmute at all, otherwise humming which is right. So this is entry beyond network.
I guess some problem is there with the connectivity, sir. Your voice is
Yeah. Here I think this we are in the Tech Mahindra campus, so I think the entire services is down. Some of them who are virtually listening here have joined along with me. About 3 members who are there. So that is one of the reason. Okay. Sometimes we have to accommodate this type of things also. Right? They are coming through the mobile phone. You can see what I am speaking. Right? Okay, even though visibility is less, we have to, right? Okay. So now, yes, this is mostly a router, Is this clear? Gateway. So 3 things we learned about this one: IP address, okay, and netmask. Netmask or subnet mask, both of them are same. Netmask will define you what is the advantage, what is the specific when you say about netmask. Anyone? It will define netmask. Just few minutes back only we spoke.
Number of hosts.
Sorry,
it defines size of network.
Size of the network. You can easily understand by seeing the size. So there are, so even when you want to define a network also, exactly what you need to define, you need to, if you are a network administrator, you are designing a network, what is the most essential thing? Yeah. Give an answer, no problem. I'm there to help you. If you are a network administrator, if someone asks you to design a network, what is the important thing which you define, which you ask?
Network size.
Network size. And what is the element which will define the network size?
Netmask, subnet mask.
So you got it right. Until unless you think about netmask, you cannot define the size of the network. Is this clear? Netmask and of course gateway. We spoke all these things. And of course in the IP address range, we spoke about network address, and also your what we call as the broadcast address, BC, broadcast address. Please remember all this terminology I am summarizing. IP address, netmask, gateway, network address, broadcast address, all these things are needs to be, familiarized by all of you. Okay. So if you are okay, then we can go through this exercise also. Where is this exercise? Yep, this is my exercise. Questions? Yes. Now you can understand. So this is the range. This is the range. What is the broadcast address now?
Last one.
Absolutely. Now you are clear, right, with what the question meaning is?
Yes, sir.
What is the network address?
First one.
First one, sir.
That is 10.0.
255.255.255.
No, network address.
10.0.0.1.
No, it cannot be one. It cannot be one. That's why I asked it.
10.0.0.0.0.
Yes, absolutely. This one, this is the first one, not this one. 10.0.0.1 is a valid host. Okay, 10.0.0.1 is a valid host. 10.255.255.255 is your net mask, or your subnet mask, whatever you say. This is your it's a broadcast address. And the other things like 255, 255, 255.0 is your broadcast address. Sorry, net mask, I'm confusing more or less. Okay, say next. A network engineer, again, there is another one. Wants to have a separate network. This is private IP address. I'll speak about this private address. Remember that this is a private IP address. I'll speak about that. What is private and public and all those things. How many bits are there in IPv4 address?
8 bits.
8 bits.
In each octet, that is the meaning. In every octet, you have 8 bits.
Yes.
Total IPv4, how many bits?
32.
32.
32, sir.
32 bits.
Right. In each octet, you have 8 bits. So answer is C. Which statement describes the purpose of a port number? A port number assigns a number of IP address? Absolutely no. Port is
No.
different, IP is different. When a port number is combined with an IP address, it is uniquely identifies a source or destination. Yeah, definitely. So port will define a service, destination. So the other side, telnet. The other side, FTP, something like that, the port number will define. When a port is unique, identified, no, not a device. The port number does not serve a purpose, no. This B is the answer. Just submit. Submit these answers. And update in your tracker.
The second one.
Sorry? Second one?
Second. Yes, sir.
Is this the one? This is the first one, I think. This is the second one. A network is assigned to an IP range. We spoke this one, right? What is the broadcast address? The last one. 10, 255, 255, 255 in this range. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
The last address is your broadcast address. So we spoke about that. Like you see, whenever I give this range, the last address, the first three is as usual. The last one is your broadcast, .255. Same thing here also. The last in your address. Okay, once you finish off, please update in your spreadsheet. If you are unable to do now, then you can do later, right? Okay. There are some members who are without system. They are working on, they are looking across mobile phone. This is KC47. So the most, to say, if you have understood your IP protocol very well, then we can move towards subnetting. So very, very important one, subnetting. If you learn this one, you can easily become a network administrator, easily. Okay, I'll explain as, easiest to I'll tell you. So again, I tell you this one, leave this one more important topic before I start subnetting. Listen very carefully. So we spoke about all these things, the terminology which is there. Okay, this understanding gateway, net mask, IP address, network address, broadcast. Keep in mute, everyone. Okay, just listen. Yep. See, the first day itself we spoke in our networking class. Network can be classified as intranet and internet. Okay, intranet and internet. Okay, network can be. What's the meaning of intranet?
The voice is breaking.
Yes, so we can't able to hear you properly.
Now you're able to now better.
It's getting stuck in between so many times.
Now better. No.
No, yes, sir.
Breaking.
It's still breaking.
Still breaking.
Voice breaking, sir.
I know I'm
Yes, sir.
helpless. I can't do anything. Just put in the chat box. At least one
Rather than we
person.
can wait till unless your connectivity comes back.
Sorry?
Because we can't hear you anything.
Now also. Yeah, put in the chat box. What is your message? Now, okay. Okay, Karthik says it's fine. Still now, yeah, no internet access. TMS. Okay, so yes, able to hear now? One response.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
right. So this network can be either intranet or internet. This is clear. So what is intranet? What is internet? Just one line answer.
Intranet is
Communication.
private network.
Yeah, one of your friend answered. Communication within your network is intranet. Yeah, what is internet? With other networks. Very simple, straight away. When you are able to communicate within your network, I mean local area network. Intranet means local area network. Please remember, intranet means LAN within your network. Okay.
Sir, again,
Sir, again, voice is still breaking, sir.
Voice is breaking. Huh?
Yeah, we can't able to hear you at all.
What should I do?
And even your screen is lagging in between when you're typing.
One second. There can be a possibility. Just give me a minute's time. Yeah, can you hear something properly? Yes or no? Okay. Let me see. So now intranet is nothing but a LAN within communication within your network. Communication, I'm writing also. Communication within your network. Internet is any communication beyond your network. Communication beyond network or any network. Now, based on the IP addressing, You see this one? As I mentioned, the classification will be from 0 to. This is the IP address range from this particular one. Out of which I tell you, this entire IP addresses range is this one, right? Can someone say yes or no? In between, say yes or no. I don't
Yes,
really. Okay, okay. So otherwise, I should know whether I'm speaking really you're able to listen or not. Okay. Out of this entire address range, there is some piece of address range given for intranet, exclusive for intranet, and the other piece is for internet. As I already mentioned that from 224 to 255, it's not used in internet. Forget about that. From 0 to this particular range, which is there are certain reservations which are there. That is called as private addressing. That is called as private addressing. Private addressing is also called as intranet addressing or LAN addressing, whatever you say, LAN addressing. I mean that this address is not used in internet totally. Please understand. This address is not used in internet at all, reserved. So one such address is 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. This entire space of 10 is not used in internet. Whenever you see an IP address starting in the range of 10, it's not an internet address. It is only a LAN address. Like earlier in the chat box, someone has responded saying that there is an IP address which has been shared, right? 10 series. It is a LAN address. It is not used in internet. It is used only in intranet. The other things, you need to by heart this one. 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. This range, when I say this range is not used in internet, if I say 172.15, yes, it is there in internet. But from 16 to 31, we don't use in internet. Why all these things? It is already pre-decided. Yeah, it is pre-decided. And we have to just learn this practice. And again, 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255 is again given for private addressing only. Private addressing only. I'm saying again that please by heart this one. This can be one of your interview question also. Please specify any one of the private addressing, or please specify the address private. What is private addressing, or what is intranet addressing? Okay, then you have to tell out of the entire IP address space, these three addresses range which is there 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255 and 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255, 192.168.0.0 to 192.68.255.255 is completely allocated for your LAN address. Rest all IP address is internet. Is this clear? Yeah, others also please mention.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please by heart this one. So now earlier you all have given where is that? The chat box is lost. So earlier you mentioned, once again you can see, go to command prompt, go to your command prompt and see this one, IP config. So now let me ask you a basic question. What is this IPv4 address? Is this a private address or a public address?
Private.
Private, sir.
Check in your cases also. Check in your cases also. Is it your address falling in either of these three categories or not? So whenever you say IP config, you get only LAN address. It is clearly mentioned. It is LAN address, local area network. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can post some of you. It will be in this range only. And now I'll also show you one more thing. When you open the browser, when you say what's my IP address, okay, what's my IP address, when it shows something which is called as here IP address. This is called as, what is this? Is this a public address or a private address?
Public address.
This is public address. This is clear. This is called as public. Whatever IP address you get from the browser, it is called as public IP. Whatever IP address which you get in C prompt, I mean command prompt, this is called as intranet or private IP. This is clear. So
Yes, sir.
intranet is mainly used for local area network communication. It's only for local. See, in my classroom, if I have about 50 systems, I may or may not connect to internet. But what do I need? What do I need?
Mobile network.
Absolutely. We need to have a local area network IP. If you have local area network IP configured, you can communicate among each other. But when you connect to the gateway router, you can go to the internet. Yes or no? Please understand the basic concept of networking. So how do you design a network? First, you have several systems in your laboratory or in your classroom or in your whatever it is location. Okay. Then start communicating each other. This is called as local area network, LAN IPs, intranet. And then deploy a router. What will the router do? Router will act like a gateway. Means that any traffic which needs to go from your network to a different network, then it starts basically communicating. That is called as gateway. That is called as a gateway. So once it starts communicating, you are a part of internet. Internet is different, intranet is different. Is this clear? So you have, everyone has two addressing. One is your LAN addressing, the other one is your internet addressing. Internet addressing is mainly used for browsing. LAN addressing is used for communicating LAN hosts only, within your LAN hosts only. Is this clear? About your public IP and private IP. Yeah, can some of you mention?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now let me discuss about the next important feature, which is called as subnetting. Subnetting, very, very important also. Subnetting is the next topic which I need to tell you. This. Did I share this one? No, till now. Did I share my screen till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then that's fine. So I'm closing some of the screens. So just open this networking fundamentals, which is a part. Here we just completed introduction, networking protocols, IP, and now the most important one is your subnetting, IP subnetting. Okay, let us understand about the subnetting. Okay, I'll just make it as simple as possible. So, like I'll tell you why we use this one, why we should learn all these things. Is it possible to host my PC over router so that others connected to the same router able to access my files without internet? Yes, absolutely. Possible to host my PC over router. Router is not required. No. If you're again, please listen. Network A, network B, local area network. There are 50 systems which are there. Okay, for that router is not required at all. Is this clear? Network A, you all of them are sitting across. If you want to share files among each other, you can do. That is LAN. If you want to connect to a different network, then you need to have a router. Okay, then you need to have a router. Once if you have a different router, okay, a different net, communicate to different using this router, then you can transfer files among this. If the router is not there, no communication between your LAN and other LAN. Is this clear? Is this clear, Karthik? Yes. Okay. If there is no router, No communication between, no internet and no communication from one LAN to another LAN. It is not possible. You can only communicate within your LAN. That is called as using switch. This is clear? Yeah, you got it. So yes, now let me explain about a little scenario on this subnet. I'll tell you. I'll make it as simple as possible. There are several organizations. We spoke about especially large networks. Large networks. Okay. Like mention Tech Mahindra or maybe IBM or maybe HP or anything. It can be as this one. All MNCs has large network. So what do they really do? They really do projects. They really support projects. Like I'll take up one example. Tech Mahindra. They might have a client A. They have client B, client X, client Z, like that. They have. I'm not mentioning. Client A may be a banking client. Like, take it like maybe ABN AMRO Bank or maybe Standard Chartered Bank, something like that. Client D or X maybe also a financial sector, right? Maybe also a financial sector. It can be maybe ANZ or maybe something else, or maybe as State Bank of India. They do a lot of projects, they do provide support, they do a lot of development, etc. But do you think that due to some reason, if network A and network C or network D able to communicate each other, is it not a risk? Because they are sitting in one umbrella. They are sitting in one umbrella. Again, I repeat, please listen. There is network A, where they want to get services development access done through Tech Mahindra, right? There is one project. We call it as a project. It can be a development, or it can be a support, or it can be anything. They are doing. It's a financial sector. It's a banking. After a period of time, maybe there is another client also coming across who may be also a banking sector. Similar to that, but both of them are financial rivalries. Both the clients are. Do you think that they are really facing a risk? Because already, if you are supporting one person, and if you are against of that to a different, financial rivalry, if you think that the client of A, client of C, or client of D can communicate each other without intervention of Tech Mahindra or something like that, is this not a risk? Or if due to some reason, if client A is able to see the documents of client D, is it not a financial risk? Their entire market will go for a collapse. So what do you need to do? But you have boasted already, my network is very large. Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I am only explaining the scenario. For
Yes,
this,
sir.
what we need to do is that we need to have subnets. What is the meaning of subnet? A part of your network is called as a subnet. Okay, I say this is a large network. Okay, network. Okay, like I say, maybe Tech Mahindra. Okay, I'm just giving an example. A large network. From here to large. Where you can accommodate how many? 2 power 24 hosts. That is 4 billion. You can accommodate. We know that, right? We already studied about all those things. You can have approximately, 2 power 24. It is 16 million hosts you can accommodate. Yes, you have this. You can say that 2 raised power 24 hosts. Naturally, it is a large network. So here, what I do is I create maybe I'm supporting a project A. Okay, not that much big. Project A requires about 500 hosts. Remember that 500 is enough. because my client support is only up to that 500 or maybe 200 or for maybe 2000, something like that. It's not like 16 million. So 500, of course, leave it. We are only doing a project support. Okay. And another project, maybe project B. Let's say project B. Okay. Maybe 50 hosts. 50 hosts. You can define it is there's only a requirement like that. Project C. Project C. Maybe I'll say only 10 hosts, small project, very small projects. Like that, and so on, and so on, and so on, like that, it can host. The total sum will be like 500 plus 50 plus 10 plus whatever should not cross to 424. Is this clear till now? Everyone, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And this is project A is subnet. Okay, one subnet. Project B is another subnet. Okay, we also call this a subnet A. I'll make it a subnet A. This is subnet B. Project C is subnet C. Okay, and this one large network, I'll say this is network. This is network. Stop me if you are unable to understand. This is a network. So what is the meaning of subnet now? Dividing a large network into smaller pieces is called a subnets. Yes or no? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Dividing a large network into smaller pieces is called a subnets. So what is the big advantage if I divide like this? What is the big advantage if I do like this? Advantage. Why should I divide all these things?
We'll have a more number of connections.
More number of projects, I do agree. More number of subnets. But what is the advantage of the project?
So security will increase, the efficiency will increase. Security.
Absolutely, you are at the right point. Initially, I spoke very much because of risk. Risk is nothing but security. Okay, if you don't have security, then you are in risk. So once if you define into subnets, you are secure. This is clear because isolation. You see, can I keep it mute? Okay. Okay. So mainly to see your projects are not communicable each other. Security. Yeah, I don't know who is Bhargav. You can keep it mute. Bhargav, where is he? Bhargav, can you keep it mute? So please listen. So the very big advantage once you have subnets is that you are having isolation. Okay, advantage is that isolation. That means security. You are, see, even in our house also we have separate rooms. Why we should have? Based on our requirement, we want to be isolated. Bedroom is different, dining room is different, kitchen room is different, and of course hall or maybe bathrooms are different. Why do we have separate? Because the environment is different. The area of working is different. Same thing here also. Projects, every project has its own limitations or security. especially isolation. People don't want to communicate to the other project at all. They don't want to have. So now, why we are learning this one is that once if you are into the real IT world, you see the networking is defined as subnets only. Never it will be as a network. Never it will be as a network. It will be defined as subnets. So because I'll tell you, even Tech Mahindra has several projects. Should I tell you how many? It can be 1,000, 10,000, 5,000. I don't know. Even whichever organization you go, you will be definitely working in projects. So every project has a capacity, a sizing. Please understand this one. Please understand. And for our network administration, since we are becoming a cloud administrators, we need to understand about the design of network. And this design of network, this subnetting is a part of your network. Subnetting. So please understand. I'll explain you some of the important terms. Because we need to learn at a later stage how to design a private cloud also. So now you understood about what is the meaning of private addressing. So we use this. Maybe you can have a 10 dot series network, like you can say 10 0 0 0 with subnet mask of 255.255, or maybe 0.0.0. You see this one, this is a very large size, 10.0.0.0 with 255.250.0.0.0 can give up to 2 power 24 hosts. This is a subnet mask. Now, if I want to divide each and everything, I need to have subnets. The very important is to have your servers or your devices isolated, first thing, and it is secure. No one can touch, no one can access into that subnet. That is the biggest advantage. Now let me make it as simple as possible. Client A, or maybe I'll take an example. You take up one manufacturing company, or you can take even IT companies also, anything. So project A, like when you go to a college, you have computer science, you have IT, you have CS, you have EC, like that. Many departments are there. Every department wants to have security, isolated. Like even you go to a manufacturing plant, or maybe a pharmaceuticals, or maybe any other plant also. There are also many departments. Like even in IT also, companies also will have several projects and also departments. Like, see, do you think that human resources people can share the data as you like? No, they don't accept. Similarly, payroll processing people will be there. They will have, similarly, there will be a tendering department, stores and inventory. They will have their own thing. No, my data should not be shared with other departments under any cost. There will be similarly a maintenance department, stores department. Every company has. So they have their own requirement. So whether it is a LAN or a wide area network or whatever it is, we need to define a large network into a subnets. So let me take up a corporation called as an ABC corporation or ABC company. Okay, corporation in a name of the company. Okay, where he is using 10.0.0.0, and of course the subnet mask is 255.255.255.2. If you feel that this is complex, let me make it as simple as possible. I'll take a smaller network. 192.168.1.0 with subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. How many maximum systems can we have in this network? By seeing this address?
255.
Yes. I hope everyone is clear. By seeing the subnet mask, you should be able to tell immediately. 255 maximum hosts. Okay. So now let me say, I'll say department A. Okay, I'll say IT department. I'll say the other departments like finance, maybe mechanical department. Okay, maybe payroll. Okay, maybe you can say stores. Maybe you can say maintenance. Several departments are there. Okay, these are all various departments. This is requirements, basically requirements. And when you go for planning as a network administrator, this IT department says that I need at least about 35 or maybe 50 systems. They say 50. Just take it for an example. I'm making it as simple as possible. Finance department will say, I need at least about 15. I'll say, he says 15 systems I require. Mechanical team says, I may not require 15, but I require around 10. He'll say around 10. Payroll processing will say that I require about, I know my requirement is something like 5 or 6, but I require something like maybe 6, he'll say. Okay. Stores also will say something, now I require around 10 systems. 10. Every 10 systems mean 10 IPs. And maintenance also will say something like maybe 20, my distribution is across many places, so I require about 20 systems. Calculate all this thing. This is the requirement given to you. You are a network administrator. Now you need to define the subnet. You need to define. Is this clear, the task? This is the requirement. This is the requirement given to you. ABC Corporation, I can explain once again. Is this clear? Even if a single person stops me also, I can explain once again. There is a department, there is a organization called as an ABC. I'm taking class C, 192, 168, because to make it as simple, if I take class A, I'll have several more than about 16K, maybe you can accommodate maybe more than 1 crore, or maybe 64K up to. So here I have maximum 255 hosts, right? If you know that 255 more than hosts which you have, then you can switch over the class to 172 series. If you know still more, then you go for 10 dot series. Like that, you can always upgrade. So IT department has 50. Okay. Finance department has 15. Mechanical, so and so, so and so. Even if you total, how much you get? Sorry? 100? 111. 111. It's okay. It's much below than 255, right? So this is heading is department and this is requirement. Requirement is defined by the client, not by me. I am the network administrator. Okay. The first thing, whenever you see this one, see now we are planning the network design. So what we are learning, we are planning for network design. In your own organization, please remember this. If you know, you will understand. You can even easily understand with the network administrators a lot. So the first thing is that when you get a requirement like this, so you bring this value to the nearest 2 power value, because you know that IP address has zeros and ones only bits. So bring to the nearest 2 power value. 2 power value. I mean that whenever I say 2 power value, it can be 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096, 8192, 16384. Like that, you can go 32,000 and then 64,000, 65,536. So what is the nearest value of 50? Yep, please.
32.
Oh, it should always be greater.
64, sir.
What is the nearest 15?
16.
16. Yes.
2 power 4.
Next.
16.
16. Next.
8.
8. Next.
8.
16.
16.
16.
Next.
32.
32.
So what is the value total now?
128, sir. Nearest value.
128. Can someone also cross check if you want? 6 plus 4, 10. I can see. 10, 16, 17, 18.
No, I'm not adding. Sir, I have given nearest value.
No, not that. Total value.
Yes. Oh, add. I have not
Add all
added.
this
1
thing.
second.
152.
152. Okay, I'll take that. But still, it is less than 255.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? Less than 255. Please understand, we have to go stage by stage. And this is called as block count. This 2 power value, we call this as block count. Block count. How did we get this value? This is nothing but 2 power 6. 6. Yes, 2 power 6. This is
2 power 4.
2 power 4. Bring that. All is multiple of 2 power value only. This is also 2 power 4. This value
2 power 3.
2 power 3. This is 2 power
2
4.
power 4. 2 power 5.
5. Right? We don't have any
Yes.
power value. This is only sum actually. This is only sum. So now, just again, once again, please understand. We are going stage by stage. So here, just assume always. I'll take two assumptions, X and Y. X and Y. X means always subnets or net or subnets. The meaning of net or subnet is called as an X. Bits. Y means always host. We know that X plus Y equal to what's the value? Always X plus Y. Net plus host equal to how much?
255.
32 bits total, right? I spoke with that only, right? Earlier, we have 32 bits. I'm dividing into network and host. So the same
Yes,
I'm
sir.
dividing. The network is X
888.
and host is Y. Is this clear? Everyone, I'm making it as clear as possible.
Yes, sir.
X is host, network, Y is host. Whether I say network or subnet, both of them are same for my understanding. Subnet is only part of your network. Host is within your network range. And the bits, when I say X plus Y is always 32. Now coming back to the next column. So is this 64 hosts or a network?
Host.
Host.
Everyone. So this is my requirement, right? This is the host. This is a host. So this 64 is also a host. So I'll say here, host bits. How much? Host bits, number of bits. Tell me only the bits.
Six.
6. It is 6. Here,
4.
4.
4,
Again 4,
Four.
sir. 3,
3,
4, 5.
4, 5.
Got it, right? How to get the host bits? So whenever the requirement has come, you have to immediately get the host bits. This is clear. And now let me move forward. Then what is network bits? Yeah, tell me.
26
How did you get the 26?
minus 32. Like,
Absolutely. Is this clear, everyone? You have to arrive stage by stage. So by seeing your requirement, you got your host bits. Then immediately, this is you should get your network bits. What is the value here? 26. Here,
28,
28.
28,
28. Here,
29,
29. It varies for each and every subnet. Here,
28,
28. Here,
27.
27. So when you say network bits 26, what does that mean? 8 dot, 8 dot, 8 dot. What's the value? How many bits more left?
2, sir.
2.
Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So when I say 28, what does that mean? 8 dot, 8 dot,
8.4.
4. Same thing here also. 8 dot, 8 dot, 8 dot. Yeah, tell me.
4.
4. I hope everyone is hearing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
8 dot, 8 dot, 8 dot,
8.5.
5.
5.
Yeah, this one now. 8 dot. This one.
Dot 3.
8.8.8.3.
3.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
now,
So-
now.
Explain network bytes once again, sir. I didn't get it.
Host bits, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Subtract from 32. I already
Okay.
mentioned at the top, x plus y equal to 32. X is network, host is y. So this is y, right? This is x. This is clear?
Yes, sir.
X. How did we get x? By subtracting. How did we get y? 2 power value, block count. Okay, still more. Now, net mask. Net mask. So when I say 8.8.8.2, what does that mean? 8 is 255, right?
255.255.255 dot. There's like 10128 plus
2 means
64.
110000 like this.
Yes, sir. 128 plus 64, I guess.
Ha. That is
20.
192.
Yes, sir. 192. Yes, sir.
So when I say 2 bits means 2 followed by 6 zeros. That is 192. You need to know about this binary, right? Binary to decimal. And this one,
4 times 1, then all 0.
255.255.4. One, two, three, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. What does that mean? What's the value?
$240, sir.
So here, just explain. 128 plus
64 plus
64
4
plus
plus 32.
32 plus 16.
32 plus 60. All ones we have to add, which is
240.
6 plus 2, 8, 8, 8, 16, 4, 20. Yeah, 240. 240. So you are getting the value, right? How you are getting the subnet mask?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this one also same, 255.255.255.240. The next one,
255.255.255.248.
yeah, plus 8 we need to do. One more bit, right? We are adding.
Yes.
You have to be very sharp in mathematics here.
Yes, sir.
This one,
255.255.240.
240. This one,
255.255.255.
3 bits.
224. 224.
24.
224.
Absolutely. 224. Started. Yes, we got the subnet mask.
Yes, sir.
Now we need to get the range. Range of IP. Yeah. Let me start the range from, see, the block count is 64. The first block I'll start. Okay, let me take this value 192.168.1.0. I have taken already. So the range starts from 192.168.1.0 to 63. Is this clear?
Yes,
See the
sir.
block size. This is Y. This is Y. 0 is your network. 63 is your broadcast.
Yes, sir.
This is clear. So
Yes,
every
sir.
system, this is the net
Sir,
mask.
sir, I have a question in this range of
Yes,
IP.
yes.
So since the size of host is 6, so we have to take a class C network, right? In range of IP.
We already defined
Or-
earlier here, class C only. Based on that only we are going. We already defined that 255 because otherwise, if the network, I mean, your requirement is crossing 255, you cannot accommodate right here.
Sir, my question is 192 is in range B. It's not in range C. That is my question. Yeah,
Class C only, right?
this is class C 192.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Then it's yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I thought 191.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Now, my finance department. I'm focusing about finance department. You see, what should be the range given now? 192, 168, 1 dot. Already 0 to 63 is over. Now 64, it starts from 64. 2.
4 to 80.
16 is the maximum size.
80.
80. Right? 64 to 79. It's not 80, 79. Is this clear? The third network.
Yes.
192, 168, 1 dot, 80 onwards till what's the size?
95.
95.
Okay, 80 to 95. 95. This one,
195, 168,
96 onwards
96
to
to
103.
103.
size is only 8.
103.
103. 192, 1 dot, 104
104
to what is the size? Here
119. 119.
16. 119. Absolutely. 119. 192, 168, 1 dot. Yeah, tell me. 120
150.
139.
onwards to
151. 151.
140.
151. Absolutely. Absolutely fine. So up to we got the answer, right?
Yes, sir.
We got the answer. Is this clear? So now if your finance department asks, if you want to configure a setup of subnet for finance department, you can tell that department to use this the IPs 192.168.1 dot 64 to 79 with the subnet mask of 255, 255, 255.240. Is this clear? Every department has its own mask. This is clear. Every department has its own mask.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether you are able to understand or not.
Yes, sir.
Understood, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if I take this stores department, okay, stores, what's the range? 192,
104 to 119.
1 dot,
104.
119. What is your network address? In this network address 192.168.1 dot.
104.
I told you very clearly. Starting address is always your network address. What is the broadcast address?
.119.
192.168.119.
Dot
119.
Is this clear? Range 192. I mean IP valid host. I say valid host is
104 say 118.
168.1.105 because network address is allocated.
Oh, yeah.
We can't give that to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
118.
118. Yes, sir.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? The starting and ending addresses will go because that is broadcast address and network address. Is this clear? This is for stores. And what is the SNM? Net mask 255.255. You tell me what is the NM? Net mask.
240.
240.
0.
So here, because since this is a subnet, we call it subnet mask, nothing more. SNM. If you give this information, you can design the network. Is this clear?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, yes, please ask.
If the requirement is 64 systems exactly, our block count is 64.
Mhm.
Then we need to go for a higher value, or we can take
Should be higher
64?
value. Why?
Because
Because yeah. Good that you have asked this question.
Because it will be -2.
Yes, absolutely. 2 hosts needs to be considered. Like I have purposefully given that also. I wanted to touch that. Finance department, what is my requirement? 15.
15, sir.
But did I get 15 here?
No, sir.
How many you got?
+2 we need to get.
So
15
naturally
plus
we
2,
got only
that's
14.
We got 14 only, sir.
We got
Yes, sir.
14. So then one system will not be accommodated, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is the requirement. We say that we always need to have 2 minus. Okay. We say that number of hosts should be 2 power y minus 2. 2 power y minus 2. 2 power, I'll say 2 power y minus 2. This should be the formula. So here, what is my y? 6, right? 2 power 16. Sorry, 2 power 6 is 64.
64.
Minus 2. That I'll get only 62.
62.
So if, yeah, 62. So if my requirement is 50, okay, much lesser than that, then it's okay. 2 power 4, 16 minus 2.
14.
14 only.
Which is greater than. Then you need to revise everything.
Yes, sir.
Everything. Your block count should be 32 now. It cannot be 16. Is this clear? Block
Yes, sir.
count will change, bits will change,
Yes,
host
sir.
bits will change, network bits will change, everything will change. So network administration. Anyway, that is too high for you, but anyway, you can understand those things. Good that you have asked the question. Otherwise, there will be IP scarcity. Is this clear about the subnetting?
Yes, sir.
I know many of you are just nodding your heads, but this is, if you want to understand, yes, this is important. And if you know this particular concept, doing this private cloud is become very easy for us, very easy. Without concept, if we go, then it is meaningless. So what is a subnet? Now you read this one, entire thing you can easily understand. A subnet is a network inside a network. Subnetting is a process. Yeah, it's a process of creating smaller networks by dividing a larger block of addresses into several subdivisions, contiguous subdivisions. Subnets become useful when you must manage multiple networks. Organization with multiple office locations can create individual subnets for their multiple locations. A coffee shop might manage a private network for their business operations and a public network for their patrons. We are not discussing about public network, that is internet, private networks only. Some of the important aspects of subnet includes this. Multiple logical networks. Okay. So this CIDR, again I tell you, I forgot to mention about this one. So this where network bits which I mentioned, this one, right? This is nothing but CIDR. Again I tell you. So the deriving that X is called a CIDR. Okay. Again I write here CIDR. So if I say CIDR 26, it is 26 network bits. Is this clear? CIDR. What is the CIDR? I write it here.
Yes, sir.
CIDR. This is nothing but classless inter-domain routing. So our ultimate goal is that whenever your requirement is there, you need to translate to CIDR. If you get the CIDR, your SNM will be automatically coming across. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
This network bits is nothing but CIDR. Our ultimate goal is that you have to choose based on the requirement, the block count, and then your CIDR. When you say when you say 27 is your CIDR, means that the block size is 32. That is 5 bits for host, and then 32 is your block count. That which is the size of your network. Is this clear? So this is nothing but your SNM. This is CIDR. Okay, please understand. So this can be translated like this. This I'll tell you here. You are defining as in this how many network bits? 24 network bits, right? This is X. Here in this 32, X is 32, Y is 8. In this particular one. Here in this network, X is 26, Y is 6. Ultimately, what you are doing, you are managing this X and Y only, nothing else. In this entire subnetting, what you are doing is that the total, sorry, X is not 32, here is 24. 24 and Y is 8. X plus Y is always 32. So here X is 24, Y is 8. Here, what is the value of X and Y? 26 and 6. Here, what is the value of X and Y? 28 and 4. So this management of X and Y is nothing but subnetting. Overall is 32. Translation of your X and Y. Imagine if it is a larger network class B, then you will have X16 and Y16. Imagine it is a class A network. Then you will have X8 and Y24. So hosts are large. Hosts are large. So this management is called as what we call as this subnetting. Subnetting. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, just understand. Now you can easily understand. Note the subnet IP ranges. So what you get from this CIDR? You get the subnet IPs. I mean, what is the range you will get? This provides a shorthand for describing the size of the network. Once you get the CIDR, you get the size of the network. Devices are in the same subnet can communicate each other without using any routers. Suppose I'll tell you. Okay. See, the IT department has 64 hosts total. 64 is the value. They can communicate among each other. But simultaneously, if they want to communicate from IT department to finance department, it won't. Because finance is a different subnet. Similarly, mechanical and payroll now are isolated. Totally. The IPs will not communicate each other. This is clear. That is the biggest advantage in subnetting. Every department has its own isolation and security. If you want to communicate, then what you need to do?
Router.
Absolutely. Router only can communicate between one network to another network or one subnet to another subnet. Is this clear? By default, within your network only it can be communicated. If you deploy a router, then only it can be communicated from network or subnet A to subnet B. Until unless, see, naturally, if the stores fellow says that no, my data should be isolated, no router, not required. Okay, so like that you can have. So that's what he means to say. Devices that is in the same subnet can communicate to each other without any routers. Can communicate with devices in the same subnet, in the same network, not other subnets. If you want to communicate with other subnets, then you should have a router. Networks class A, class B can also be subnetted. Right? This is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's the same subnet. IT department, all the 50 will be in the same subnet. Subnet A. If IT department wants to communicate with finance, it won't communicate. If you want to communicate, then what we need to do? We need to deploy a router. This is clear. Just verifying whether my internet is back or not. No, still no. Okay. So please understand. Let me just revise these topics. It is easy once you understand this topic, right? So about IP classes, I spoke already. Class A, this is 0 to 127, the first one. Class B, 128 to 191. I spoke already. If you have any questions, you can ask. Class C, 192 to 233. No. This is only 223. It should not be 233. It is wrong. Is this clear? It is 223. It's not 233. It's a mistake in the this thing. Okay. Right. So this is about class A, class B, class C. Okay. I'll speak about loopback and all this things, not much. Broadcast address, already I spoke. All devices broadcast, that is the last address. 0000 is the first address of your entire range. First, that is network address. So every network has its own limitations. But if I say overall network address, 0000 will be your network address. The overall broadcast address, 255, 255, 255, 255. Beyond that, you don't have anything. Is this clear? Purpose of subnetting, very clear. Subnetting can be used to organize and optimize a net. For example, isolate. I spoke very first. Isolation is very, very important. Different parts of your network, network A, network B are isolated. Apply different levels of security. Yes, this is also second thing. Relieve congestion. I mean that subnet A will have its own traffic, subnet B will have its own traffic. It cannot be, I mean, both things cannot be communicated each other. Right? Okay, there are some examples which are there. Please go through CIDR. I spoke about this classless inter-domain routing, the notation of your, okay. Please go through steps for determining this network ID or CIDR block. I spoke already. Don't go with this one, very tough in this way if you go. So finally, when I say this one, CIDR here, this is 26, right? How you define this network? So most often this network is defined, stores network. They define like this, 192.168.1.0, that is your network address, /26. Is this clear? Is this clear? Stores, what is your network address? Stores network address starts from 104, right? Then I should say 104. /26. No, this is not 26. This is 28. Is this clear? Once again, I'll explain. Take a department called as finance. What is the static address of this finance department? What is the network address of this finance department? Yes, please.
192.168.1.64.
Okay, 1.64. That is your okay network address. And what is your CIDR?
28.
28. So this is how it is represented. So if I give this particular address now, if I this, can you translate everything? /28 is your CIDR.
Yes, sir. We can.
What is your block count now? What is your block size? 32 minus of 28. That is 4. 2 power 4, 16. 16 is your size. 64 is your first address. 64 is your first address. So plus 16.
80.
79. 64 to 79.
Yeah,
You got it. So by seeing itself, you should be able to tell. Got the way? Suppose if I say IT department, 192.168, what is the network address? 1.0/26. Okay. Maintenance department, 192.168,
120/27.
27.
This is clear like that. If you get this information, this one, you can tabulate everything. This is how we normally address in our day-to-day requirements. This is clear. Examples of CIDR blocks. He has given 10.0 also. Please try. Please go through this one. I'll try to see that whether this recording of this particular class can be shared. Okay, especially the subnetting part, not complete. I'll try to see. Is this clear? Especially the bottom part, which is there, subnetting part. I know that this requires once or twice listening, but please practice. So what you can do individually, you can frame this particular thing, department and requirement. You translate some values. Whatever is that? Okay, I want to do something for my college. My college has 6 departments. Note down IT department, computer science, mechanical, electrical, civil, something, and give some values. Whatever is coming in your mind, ensure that whatever the values which you are giving is below 255 total, and then start working all these things step by step. Do 2 or 3 times. You will remember everything. You will remember everything. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
The same one I am recording. I'll try to share. I'll try to share by evening because it has to render and do all the kind of various things.
Okay.
Right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think if this is fair, then we can go ahead with what we call as the exercise. Subnetting. I don't know how many of you have actively listened, but this is most important. But your most of the network administrators, if you want to, if your life is having a passion of network administration, you have to do this one. Okay, you have to do this one. Otherwise, no. There are 2 labs also. Start working tomorrow. Also, we will do these labs. Okay, this is the what we call as IP and subnetting. If you are familiar, you can do a lot of other things. Rest of the other things I can easily share you. VPC demonstration. That is private cloud. That is private cloud. In continuation to this one. If you don't understand subnetting, doing VPC is tough. And then, of course, other things are common protocols. And then next is security. And of course, your mobile device, mobile technologies and all this MDM. Okay, networking technologies. These are all we can forward. But if you see the core elements in this one is like your TCP IP, and of course your subnetting and VPC. These are the core elements. So just let us finish off the KC. We will go through the labs tomorrow. But meanwhile, at your convenience, you can go through the lab also. Okay, you can go through the lab also. Just start working. I'll explain the solution tomorrow. But start working, everyone. 46 and 49 also. Okay, so open this 50. 3 points are there. I think only 3 questions in submitting. So this is KC 50. So KC 50, just open. Okay, 5 questions are there. So what are the reasons for creating a subnet? We already discussed, I think. To relieve congestion on a network, we spoke about that. To divide a network into private network and a public network, yes, we can isolate both private, public also, in that way also. To allocate a specific strategy, no. To add an additional IP address to an existing subnet, no, we cannot add like that. Basically, we are separating, we are not adding. For that, you need to define from the block count, CIDR, and then only you can bring. Otherwise, no. To reduce the number of networks to manage, no. To increase the number of networks. Whenever you are doing subnet, you will be increased networks. Reduced, not reduced. So next.
Amit, can you hold on?
Yep.
Sir, in question number 1, how will we make a network private or public by just subnetting? Can you
Yeah,
speak
there is
more on
again
that?
one more protocol which I need to tell you. I'll tell when it is public. We have a NAT actually. So even in our organizations also, we use only private networks. Okay, within our organization. But when you want to communicate with internet, we don't use what we call as we use through subnet. But there is another protocol. I'll define that. Not now. Not now. Okay. We have
Okay,
a
sir.
protocol called as NAT. Then only we can use that. But still, we use this subnet. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll explain. That is a part of our syllabus. Which IP address is suitable for smaller networks?
Class C.
Class C.
Class
See,
C,
it is
sir.
not 233, it is 223. Here also he made the same mistake. It is 223. Class C. So even you can see in Google Class C range. Class C range. It is only 223. I don't know where the figure 233 has gone. It can be only a typo error. Right. So what is the purpose of loopback? Okay, I didn't explain about this one, but just this is mainly used for diagnostics, testing purposes. One reservation, 127.0.0.1 is mainly used for testing and troubleshooting. only for trouble. It is not for main communication at all. I'll speak about that. This is only one IP. So which CIDR defines the smallest range of IP addresses? So the smaller the CIDR, the larger the IP addresses. Is this clear? Just go through this particular one. So here you see this one, 28 has only 16 systems. 29 has only 8 systems. 8. Okay, 29. For 30, you have only 4 systems, 4 IPs. For 31, if you have 31 as CIDR, how many IPs you will get? Sorry? Yeah, please mute, please mute. So the smaller the number, the larger the network. The larger the size, the larger the CIDR, the smaller the network. Okay, please understand this one. Here he asked smallest range, then the CIDR should be
Last one, sir.
the last
Yes,
one.
sir.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Only 2 hosts will be possible.
Which is the largest one?
/8.
/8 is the largest one. Describes a subnet mask. It defines the host in a network that has static IP. No, it doesn't define anything about static. It defines which section of the IP address identifies a network and which section of IP address defines the host. So this is subnet mask. Once you have the subnet mask, you will get X. You can also get Y, and you will get X and Y, both values, the bits. Then you can get the range of hosts and also the subnet values. So it is X and Y. So that's all. Submit that and update in this tracker. Okay. So KC50. So again, once again, I say the other labs, please do that. Please do that. So that it will be an added advantage. Tomorrow, anyway, I will be discussing about those things. Yep. So this is a core networking topic. Again, I tell you, core means very, very important topic. Subnetting and of course the TCP/IP, IP addressing. That is the concept. Yeah, meanwhile, I'll start taking attendance also tomorrow, same time. Bye.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you. And bye.